Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to show you how to take any sublimation design, like the design on the left side of my screen, and adjust the colors to make them pop, like the design on the right side of my screen, using Canva. So let's get started. Okay, so here I am in Canva. Now, I do have Canva Pro, so if you have Canva Basic, you may not have all the features that I have, but we will still be able to edit the color of our images. So later in this video, I will show you how to upload your image and adjust the color and then save it and download it. But for this example, I have the image duplicated, one on the left and one on the right, just to show you the differences the color adjustment makes. So when you upload your image, you're going to click on Edit Image over here. And then we can edit our images manually, or you can adjust them automatically, I guess it'll be the word, by clicking on the filters. These filters will allow you to change your image automatically to a different type of color scheme, I guess you would call it. But what I'm going to show you is how to adjust the colors manually. So let's go ahead and put this one back to the way it was. By clicking on this button right here, you will get these options: brightness, contrast, saturation, and so forth. This is how we're going to manually adjust our design. So the first thing you're going to see here is brightness. Now let me say before we get started, how I adjust my design may not be how you want to adjust yours. It's just what looks good to you. Okay, there's no right or wrong. There's no certain settings when you adjust your design. It just depends on what the design looked like before, and then after you adjust your settings, what it's going to look like after. So it's all your perception of how the design looks, how you want to print it. Okay, so I'm going to adjust this one on the left and use the one on the right as a comparison to before and after. Okay, so first setting you have is the brightness, and it's going to be too bright or too dark. And most of the time you don't need to adjust the brightness. I mean, you can bring it up a little bit if you feel your image is a little too dark. We'll just bring it up to 5. Like I said, there's no right or wrong. You might have to play around with certain settings to see how you like it. Next is your contrast, and that's what that's going to do. Okay, sometimes you have to adjust the contrast a little higher. Let's try and bring this one up to 20 just to see what that does. Saturation, I usually put that at 10. Okay, and then tint, don't mess with the tint, don't mess with the blur or this X process or vignette. Now we can adjust the warmth a little bit, see what that does. See how that makes it look colder or warmer, your colors. So if you want your picture to be your design to be a little warmer, we can bring that up. Just for this purpose, we'll bring it up to 10. Okay, clarity. That is like the sharpness of your photo or your image. You see how the sharpness is much sharper the higher you bring this up. And back here, it's kind of, I don't know, fuzzy looking. It's the word I could use, I guess. So I'm going to bring this up just to have a little bit sharpness in the picture. Okay. Now vibrance, I usually set that at 40, but you can put it whatever you want it to be. And then highlights, you see what that does. Okay, leave that at 0. Shadows, that's really not going to do too much. And fade, you don't need to mess with. So when you're finished editing, you'll click on the left side of your photo. And as you can see, just from the adjustments we've made, the design on the left looks much better than the design on the right. I mean, look at this red right here on this monster, and look at the red right here. And the colors just seem to pop more just from those few adjustments that we made. Okay, so that is how you adjust your images. Okay, so here we are back in Canva. As I mentioned earlier, I have the Canva Pro version. If you have Canva Basic, it may not be exactly the same, but we can still adjust the design. Okay, you're going to come up here to Create Design. Click on that. Come down to Custom Size. Now we want to work in inches. If yours says pixels, change it to inches. Now for this video, I am going to use a Tumbler design. So I want my size to be 9.4 by 8.2. And you can adjust this to whatever design you plan on printing. If you're going to do t-shirts or totes or whatever sublimation design you're going to work on, this is where you're going to adjust your sizes. But for this video, we're going to use Tumbler design size, which is at 9.4 by 8.2 basically. Once you have that, click on Create New Design. Okay, now we need to upload our design. So come over here to Uploads, left click on that, and then click on Upload Media. You will find the folder that your design has been saved to, and you can either you can click on this and then click Open, or you can just double click on your image that you want to adjust, like that. If you look over here, you will see it uploading. Little blue water ducky thing here. Once it's full, your image is uploaded. So here's our image, and you can left click on it and drag it over to the corner right here, and then it'll automatically size it to that size that we selected earlier. So now we can start making our adjustments, but before we do that, I want to duplicate this, duplicate the page, so we can do a before and after. So up here in this little duplicate page button, click on that. Okay, so now we have two pages with the same image. We're going to use these images to do a before and after. Okay, so this is the image we're going to adjust. Click on it. Make sure that it's selected. Okay, then come up, then left click off of it. Okay, now we know we're adjusting this image. Come up here to Edit Image. As I mentioned in the previous video, we are going to manually adjust this image, so we're going to click right here on these little slider bars to adjust it. You're going to have these different adjustment settings. We can make this image a little bit bigger by just sliding this in or out down here. That way we can kind of get a better look at what we're doing. And then over here on the right, you can move it up or down. Okay, I'm just going to make it just a little bit smaller. Okay, this kind of helps me see my colors better, my image, so I can see what I'm doing when I make the adjustments. And if you just did that, just click on the left, just click on the image again, Edit Image, and Adjust. Okay, so we're back to where we started. Okay, brightness. As I said before, I mean, you can adjust it brighter or darker. This one here, I don't really think it needs to be made any brighter, so I'm just going to leave it where it is. Contrast, same thing. You can brighten it. More contrast or less. I'm going to give this a little bit more contrast. I think I'm just going to put it on 20. That's up to you. You know, like I said before, it's up to you, whatever looks best to you. Saturation, I usually put that on 10. It's your choice though. You don't have to have it on 10. Tint, don't mess with that. Don't mess with blur or this X process. No need to mess with vignette. Warmth, we can adjust that. We can bring it up, or we can bring it down. Like I said, it's all personal preference. What do you want your image to look like? I'm just going to bring it up just a little bit, maybe to 10. Okay, clarity. This is pretty much your sharpness. Sharper or not. Okay, I'm just going to bring that up to 50. Okay, now vibrance, I usually set that at 40. And then these other three you don't need to mess with. So pretty much the ones you can adjust is brightness, contrast, saturation, warmth, clarity, and vibrance. That's what makes the most effect on your image. Okay, so let's take a look and see the difference between the old image and the one we just adjusted. Okay, so here's the one we just adjusted. Now if we look down here, here's the one that we started with. As you can see, there's a big difference. So you just have to play with the settings and see what looks best to you. I mean, if you like this, then you don't have to adjust it. If you like this, great. This is what you can save, okay? So I'm going to delete this bottom one because I like this top one much better. So just click on this little delete page button right here. And this is the image that I like and I want to print. Okay, so I'm going to save this. Up here where it says Untitled Design, you can name it. I'm just going to call it Scooby-Doo. Okay. And then click off anywhere on the screen and it will save it. Now up here yours may say download. If it does, just click on it. If it doesn't, click on this and then come down here to download. Once you click on the download button, you'll see suggested files, how you want to download it. I would use the PNG file, which gives you a higher quality image for your design. You can adjust it bigger, but I wouldn't go any smaller than this. I usually just leave it on 1. And I don't mess with any of this. And if you want to, you can save your download settings and it'll always download this way. Once you have that, click on download. Takes a few minutes, well not minutes, few seconds. Okay, now it's going to ask you where do you want to save your download to. I'm just going to save it to the same folder that I uploaded my video or my image to. I'm just going to call this Scooby-Doo new image. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just calling it that. And then you click save. Okay, so now you have your new image and saved to your folder and ready to print with your whatever software you're using to print. Hopefully this video helped you. If you liked it, give me a like, subscribe. If there's anything, any questions, make some remarks in the comment. And hopefully your videos, or not your videos, but your images will pop now. You can adjust them. And hopefully this helped you. Thanks for watching.